Pick the Nintendo Shack and pray. Frederick from Fire Emblem Awakening says, yo.
Greetings, Koopalings! Welcome to this week's episode of the Nintendo Shack podcast. My name is Rebecca, and instead of Garrett, instead of Elaine, I have Donnie here with me today. Hi, Donnie.
Greetings, Koopalings. No RPGs tonight, guys.
RPGs
Sorry.
are canceled. How are you doing, Donnie? How is the world of Nintendo in your little corner of the world?
Good. Yeah, I'm doing good. It's been a productive day. A lot of work got done. I closed on my bank loan that I've been working on for it has taken 6 months. It's taken forever to get this through.
Nice.
And I did a bunch of yard work, and I was killing brush and cutting limbs, and I killed a hornet's nest. It's been a full day over here so far.
Oh my gosh, it sounds like you've been super productive today. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, making up for my slothful weekend. I didn't do anything. I just laid around. I watched the Open. It's Open Championship this week. I'm having a blast doing that.
Is that golf?
Yeah. It is. It is. My favorite golf tournament of every year of ever is the Open Championship. It used to be called the British Open back in the 90s, but it's always been called the Open Championship around the world. And Americans finally have recognized that. But yeah, great. It's at St. Andrews. So yeah, I'm watching the golf, having it on the TV in the background, just getting stuff done, lining them up, knocking them down.
Very nice. I feel like it's the opposite for me because over the weekend I was away. I was up in the Pocono Mountains for my best friend's bachelorette party weekend.
Ooh, so get wild.
A ton of stuff. No,
get crazy.
She doesn't drink. I don't drink.
Drunk with strippers.
Her cousins is pregnant, so there was drinking, but not all. It wasn't like partying. So
all I'm hearing is good alibis, guys. That's all I'm hearing.
We packed into a single day horseback riding, tubing down the Delaware River, which took an hour longer than it was supposed to. Dinner, an escape room, and board games all in one day. And then we did brunch the next day, and then I drove home. But that was my packed weekend. And now so far this week, I'm relaxing, I'm playing games,
probably have COVID
around the new place. No, don't say that. Don't say that.
That's how Melissa got it. She went to her president's bachelorette party.
Oh, well, great. That's bad luck then. Thanks for telling me that. No, I felt fine. I got home on Sunday, and today's Thursday, and I felt fine. I'm all vaccinated, all boosted.
Nice.
We were careful. It was just we were around each other.
You were careful?
But
I heard that you just locked all of yourselves in a room together is what I heard.
We did, but there were only 8 of us, and
we're
all very careful. And we're all vaccinated. We're all boosted.
Of course.
And
I'm sure it's fine.
We're very careful.
Escape room is a legit plan, actually.
I had never done an escape room before. Did you ever do one?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've done a couple. They've never been my favorite thing to do, but they're definitely a good group activity. Mm-hmm. If you're not going to do, the 90s excess, strippers in Vegas, you run out of things to do pretty quickly. I've gone to a few bachelor parties, and it's funny how, only one of them ever took place at a strip club. Most of them are cigar bars. You go hiking.
I feel that's a very guy thing. Girls don't do that for their bachelorette parties. They do bar hopping.
Well, no, I worked with a girl who loved strip clubs about 6 years ago, and she definitely loved to go to them.
Maybe it's your circle and association.
It's probably an Atlanta thing. It's pretty big down here. It's not my thing, though, actually, which might surprise people. It's never been my thing. I've never been one for strip clubs. But yeah, all of the guy friends, it's usually golfing, actually. Anytime I've ever served as a groomsman, it's always we're going to go golfing. We're going to go nice steakhouse, Ruth Chris or something like that. It's always been pretty chill. It's never been the movies.
Okay. Yeah, this wasn't it wasn't chill, but it wasn't party drinking craziness. It was just a lot of cool outdoors activities, which my friend really likes. So that's why that weekend was
nice. It's I want to wake up abandoned on a raft in the Bermuda Triangle and be oh man, what happened?
No.
We had a killer night last night.
Not us. Not at all. That's not us. but it was fun, and we did escape the escape room. I think it was overpriced for what it was, but for that kind of weekend, I was very excited about it.
Nice.
And yeah, so like I said, I've been playing games this week. I'm currently deep into Live Alive. I am reviewing it. It comes out next week, so you'll be able to see my full thoughts on it. I'm really enjoying it. This was a game that I have been anticipating, and it's really good. I really like it. I know I'm not going to get into the RPGs because this is our RPG free podcast tonight. It's canceled. You can hear my thoughts next week. So instead, I'll talk about how much fun I'm still having with Fall Guys. I am so glad that this game went free to play. They are adding so many things to it. It definitely has that more, kind of support that it didn't have when it first released, with like weekly rotating activities, different modes that, come in each and every week. It's a lot easier, I feel like, to hook up with friends and play than it was back then. So me and some friends, like every once in a while, like we just join in, and play with each other. And it's been a lot of fun. Sometimes I'll just play by myself. Couple of rounds here or there. It's exactly what I pictured for this game when they said that it was coming to Switch. Like pick up, play a couple of rounds, then do something else. It's been a lot of fun. I got
Jack's
a couple
been
wins.
I haven't played it. Sean played it. I was hanging out with Sean on his stream over the weekend. I was making fun of him while he was playing it, which was a great time for me. I had a blast sitting there, just razzing Sean.
But you didn't play?
Nah. I think my era with Fall Guys has passed. There's nothing. I really liked it, and I really don't have anything. There's no reason why. I played it a lot, and then I just didn't. And
it's a lot better, and I totally get that mindset. It's so much better now than it was back then.
I just don't feel.
It's a totally different game.
I've got so many things to play, and I'm just not compelled.
Yeah.
I'm just not compelled to go back to it. But
I completely get that. I know. Yeah.
The Xbox Drive has been proclaiming that Fall Guys is back after everybody said it was dead.
It really is. It is back.
So there it is. It's back.
Yep. But other than that, today I just finished up on stream. I didn't finish the game, but I don't know if you know this. I'm in the middle of my retro summer where I made a whole bunch of.
You've been on like all day.
I'm flying through it. I know. Well, I was hoping to beat it, and I'm stuck on the last level because it's really hard. Bonk's Adventure, Bonk's Adventure. Did you ever play it for the TurboGrafx?
What?
Bonk was the mascot.
What did you just
TurboGrafx.
Okay.
You know how Mario is to Nintendo, as Sonic is to Sega. Bonk is to TurboGrafx.
TurboGrafx.
16.
I've never seen one of these in person.
Really?
I'm looking at it, and I've never seen one of them. I don't know what that is.
It was a big console back in the day. Yeah, you're not old enough to remember the TurboGrafx 16.
Apparently not.
It's so good. And Bonk, it's so good. It's he's like a little prehistoric boy.
Though?
Yes. The controller had a turbo button.
When it came out, Rebecca, you just said I'm not old enough to remember. It came out, I was 2. And I'm older than I was 2.
You youngin.
Right? Yeah, what are you Elaine all of a sudden?
My bones are creaking talking to you, not remembering the TurboGrafx 16. Bonk's Adventure.
You're too young to remember,
but
Danny.
He bonks things. He has a very big head. He's a big prehistoric baby, and he bonks things with his head, and he could spin around, and he fights dinosaurs.
Sound familiar.
Yeah. There's Bonk's Revenge, and then there's a whole spinoff called Zonk, Air Zonk. It's like futuristic.
Why do you do this to yourself?
Anyway, I'm having a lot of fun with my retro journey.
I'm glad you are.
A lot of fun.
It looks. I'm clicking through screenshots of it. I mean, honestly, for a game that old, it doesn't look bad, visually at all.
Magic of the TurboGrafx.
Definitely not my thing. I don't think, but sure, why not?
Yeah. It's a lot of tough platforming, but it was fun.
Looks like Mario 2.
It kind of has some similarities. But yeah, that's what I've been up to. Like I said, I will talk more about Live Alive because that's what I have a lot to say about, but I can't yet. So all I will say is that I'm enjoying it, and you will hear.
What's your final score
of
Live Alive?
Score?
Review score. Yeah, just give it to us.
I didn't finish the game yet.
1 out of 99, right? Like 1 out of 100.
I can't score it until
1
I
out of
finish.
10. How many stars? How many thumbs up are you giving it?
I can't do that yet because I don't know yet.
I'm just trying to get you to break embargo.
Well, giving you a number wouldn't break embargo.
What's the most important thing that happens? What's the biggest spoiler you've got?
The biggest spoiler. Well, everybody dies.
Right?
I hope that doesn't happen because that would be no. But the game came out in 1994. It was just exclusive to Japan, so like anybody can go download the game, download an English patch for it, and play it. So I always find it like weird when there's such strict embargo on like remakes and things like that. It's like, yeah, there's going to be there's going to be a lot of people playing this for the first time. But for like regular remakes, I don't know.
Golf Club Wasteland, there was a heavy embargo on what I couldn't talk about. Or no, it wasn't that. I was just not supposed to talk about it at all for like a month.
Yeah.
But then
give people time to play it.
No, but then there was a ton of previews that completely broke down and detailed like the story and everything. So I'm sitting there, I'm like reading public stuff, and I'm like, so if I talk about what is covered in this story, is that breaking embargo? I mean, that's fair game, right? Like it's published, that's out there. You know, I could always point to that, be like, hey, I didn't say anything that wasn't mentioned in this PC Gamer article, you know, this preview. I didn't mention anything that wasn't, you know, covered in this article. So, that's weird.
Am I here?
Yeah, you're here.
Oh, I don't see me. I see you. I don't see me.
I see
but
two of you actually.
You know, this happened the other week too. I don't know. My internet gets wonky around this time.
Chat, yeah, they're seeing what I'm seeing. Yeah, so your double just left. Your double just left.
I'm back.
Yeah, I see you.
Right around this time, my like internet gets very wonky, and I don't understand why. But I'm back.
We just got double the fun. You just double Forest Finish.
That's how excited we
are
about.
What was those Double Mint commercials, right? Like back in the 90s. They always have like the twins, and when they were like, they would like go through the limo or the taxi.
I think I remember
like yeah, that's funny.
Well,
you wouldn't remember that. You're not old enough to
okay. Going back to what we were saying about embargoes is the only one bad thing. Like if you're playing this game for the first time, which I am, some of the embargo notes get so specific. Like it's like, do not mention this specific character's death in like who died in this exact way. And I'm like, okay, you just spoiled it for me. Do not mention anything past, or it's like, do not mention that this is how you kill the final boss. I'm like, okay, well, you just told me. Like, I feel like there's a way that they could word this. And I know they have to make it super clear for me.
They're going to come in boxes in multiple, in like 12 sealed envelopes. And you open the box and it's like, do not read this embargo until after you've completed chapter 1. And then you complete chapter 1 and then you rip it off.
I wish I could say, okay, here's the embargo notes. I'm going to play the game and then I'll see what I can't cover. But no, not only do I read the notes, but they call you up. Nintendo calls you up and they say, okay, we're going to verbally read every single word that's on these embargo notes for you.
Wow.
And then you have to agree to it. So,
I'd be like, honestly, in all seriousness, I'd be on the phone. No, I'd just be like, you know what? It's fine. Never mind. Just, I'll play it in 2 weeks, guys. It'll be great. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Keep your eye out for the reviews next week. I think.
Imagine how long that phone call is going to be for Xenoblade. Like, nah, you guys can keep it. We're good.
Probably. It was long for this, for Live Alive. But if you have any interest in the game, go play the demo, check out the reviews. Yeah, Nintendo of America, like they say, okay, what's the next best number that we could reach you? And then what time can we reach you? And you set up an appointment with them and they call you.
That sounds about right.
Their goal in offices.
Yeah.
So you have a representative for whatever outlet you work for. But it's weird because sometimes they're really strict on certain games and then other games they like just don't even give you the code until release day.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I've been up to. What have you been playing in the world of Nintendo lately?
Nothing.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have a whole lot to bring to the pod. I haven't touched my Switch since I stopped playing Fire Emblem Warriors. I haven't touched it at all.
You beat quickly, I heard.
I only went through the Eagles route though.
Oh.
I didn't play all the. I'm never gonna do that. I don't care about Dimitri. He can kick rocks for all I care. I don't care what happened to his house. You know what happened to his house? I crushed it under the foot of the Black Eagles. That's what happened to that house.
Excellent. I'm glad to hear that. That definitely means a lot of things to me.
It was great, actually. It was one of my favorite. Probably my favorite Switch game of the year so far.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I liked it more. I think it's better than Kirby.
That's good. Mm-hmm. I know this is not a Nintendo game, but I have to ask because I did not watch PSVG last night this week. Are you getting Stray next week?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Did you order the bundle?
No.
Did you order the vinyl?
I'm gonna play it off the subscription, whatever.
Well, so am I, but I ordered both of those things. And then did you see what they posted today?
Mm-mm.
You got to get this. It's a backpack.
Oh no, yeah, no, I commented on it. I didn't know that they posted that. I just thought it was just a backpack.
No, it's officially licensed Stray merchandise. The backpack with the little window, and it has like their logo and stuff, and the exact harness that the cat wears. I ordered that too. So, Frisk, we're going on an adventure.
I've always wanted to try and put my cat. Like I wanted to do that with Kirby when he was alive a lot because he loved going outside. And I don't know, like my cats are. I mean, older now. Like, I wonder, like, you have to train them like when they're young to do that.
I don't know. My cat is like 2 or 3, and I'm harness training him.
I feel like Annabelle would scissor kick me if I tried to put her in a backpack. But maybe. Freddy,
you have to know your cat.
Yeah, Freddy probably would. He's pretty chill.
My cats don't go with it.
But Annabelle doesn't. I think it's cute. Like it's sweet to me. Annabelle, wherever I'm in the house, she's always with me.
Aww.
I sit down. She sits on my lap everywhere.
Girl.
Doesn't matter.
Yep. Yep.
And here's the thing.
That's how my boy is.
You can't hold her. She does not like to be held.
But she'll be near you.
She will cuddle you. She will curl into you. But the moment you try to wrap your hands around her, she flips out and she will scratch you. And she'll scratch you hard.
Oh no.
You can't nuzzle her. You can't kiss her. Like the moment your head she wants none of that.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but then I don't think she will.
But I can hold her and pet her. But I'm the only person in the family. Like she's she's just weird. She's a weird cat.
Whereas cats are weird.
Fred is, I think I told you this before. Fred is incredibly cuddly. He's the cuddliest cat I've ever met in my entire life.
I love
All he wants to do is sleep. Like he is a cat for the sheets, and he'll sleep on anybody, anywhere, at any time. He curls under the blankets. Like if you're in the bed, he wants to get under the blanket with you.
That's so cute.
Yeah, because I think I could take him out. But yeah, I don't know. And I saw, so I clicked on that.
You should buy the backpack with me, and we could go on a hike with our backpacks and our cats.
Yeah. I mean, that sounds like stellar YouTube content for sure.
Doesn't it?
It does. But here's the thing. I had no idea that had anything to do with Stray at all. I didn't even see that you got licensed it until after I saw it. I just saw, I think Wario tweeted it, and I was like,
yeah, that's how I saw it.
Backpack. And I clicked on it, and it was like a pre-order button, and it was like $130. I was like, that's absurd.
I know. And I got the harness. I spent $180, and then like an hour later, he posted a 10% off coupon code, and I was gonna cancel it and reorder it, but it said that it's shipping in 2 waves, in like an August wave and a September wave, and I didn't want to risk being in the September wave, so I'm just sticking with it and like.
I know.
Eat my $18.
Wow. Okay. I hope it's everything you could want it to be.
I don't have children, so I'm spoiling my cat.
Of course, as you should. Frisk, right?
Frisk
deserves nothing but the best. Of course, I'm all about the cats. My cats have every window in my house has a cat perch. Have you seen my cat perches?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're all like stuck to the windows, like they have suction cups. So my cats can bathe in the sun everywhere they go. They all have feeders at every window.
Oh, they deserve it.
We've got like 4 cat towers. I want to get like those cat jungle gyms that you put on the walls and have all like the little, nodes and stuff that they can walk around and climb. Yeah, I want to do that too. I'm
spoiling my cat because he fulfills 2 jobs. He eats all the bugs so that I don't have to deal with them, and he cuddles with me and helps me not be sad. So that is his 2 jobs, and he is doing them, so therefore I will spoil him.
My doctor told me outside of me doing exercise and candy, which, come on, Not doing any of that. She said, you need to stop eating candy and stop drinking. We can just call this a life then. We can just cut this off early. She's like, the cat's the best thing you can do for your blood pressure.
That's what my therapist told me. My therapist said, like, when you move, if your landlord doesn't, accept animals, he is he's able to document animals as therapy animals. So as long as you can prove XYZ, he can sign off that my landlord would have to let me keep a cat, but he let me keep it anyway, so we're good.
Nice.
Yeah. So we got some Nintendo news. You ready to chat about it?
Let's do it.
We finally got the full-fledged trailer and release date for Bayonetta 3.
Let's dance, boys.
It's coming out on October 28th this year.
Happy birthday to my wife. I'm sure she's going to really love me playing Bayonetta 3 instead of taking her out for her birthday.
Oh, no, Donnie, you can't.
100% I will. We better do that birthday party the weekend or the day before or the day after, but 100% I will be playing Bayonetta that day.
There's a new playable character called Viola.
Nero. Or I guess people on Twitter seem to be calling her Virgil, but to me it's just totally Nero, but you know what I'm talking about?
Not at all. I don't know anything about this.
It's Devil May Cry, right? You have Devil May Cry, you have Dante. Everybody knows who Dante is, and there are other characters that Devil May Cry have introduced. You have Virgil and Nero. Nero kind of looks like Cody Rhodes. They both, I guess, have silvery white hair, so I guess I get it. They're probably just thinking Virgil because of the third kind of other character from Jean. But yeah, I think Viola looks dope. Legit looks really cool, and not just her look, which is the look is cool, but we've seen that look in video games all decade. That's not a a new look. Kind of like that punk rock, cyberpunky type of girl. That's not original by any means, but the gameplay when they showed you playing as Viola looked really good. I was like, now we're talking. That looks really nice. So I was all about it. I was very excited for that inclusion. I wonder if it's just going to be is it going to be a chapter, or is this are we a Metal Gear thing where they're really going to Bayonetta dies and now you play as Viola for 8 hours to go back in time to resurrect her or something? You never know.
I didn't even realize that you play as other characters besides Bayonetta.
You're putting me on the spot. It's been a few years since I finished Bayonetta 2.
More than I
don't recall. I'm sure you do, actually. I'm sure you do, but I don't recall it offhand. But Bayonetta's nuts. You've got bullet, hell, kind of gunfighting moments and sections and platforming sections, and then the over the top actual stuff. Rodon might be playable, as we've got in the chat. Rodon, he said he thinks he's playable in Bayonetta 2. I'm sure at some time I have. I'm sure I have, but I'm just not really.
I just didn't know. Okay, cool.
I've only played them. I've played Bayonetta twice. I played it originally when it came out, back in the days when I used to worship the ground that Camille walked upon. I was like, oh my god, it's just beautiful Joe and Resident Evil, and just it's the great, Suda, my Suda love. I used to be all about that kind of stuff. And I played Bayonetta when it came out, and then I played Bayonetta 2 on Wii U, of course, because it might be the Wii U's best game. It literally might be, legit might be its best game.
Breath of the Wild is a Wii
if you don't game. Count Breath of the Wild, of course, right? We know what we know what I mean. Legit Wii U game is really good, and showcase what it could do, and such a big get, I think, for Nintendo. Even though I don't know if the sales would prove that, but I think for the library, I think it's very important for Nintendo to have a game like Bayonetta for customers. Yeah. But I only played Bayonetta 2 once, the one time, and I bought it again on Switch, still have it, and just never really replayed it. But I did play about half of Bayonetta when they did the remaster, which is something I definitely wanted to bring up with this news, because I think it's a little, I don't know, strange. I mean, it's not the right thing, but so Bayonetta is getting a reprint on Switch. They're actually going to do physical copies of the original Bayonetta, which they didn't do on Switch.
Oh, okay.
If you bought Bayonetta 2, you got a digital copy of Bayonetta.
Of one, I remember that, yeah.
But it's like the 360 version, which is fine, but it's not great. Yeah. There is a beautiful remastered console edition of Bayonetta that you can play on Xbox and PlayStation. So if you saw this trailer and you're out there and you're like thinking you want to get into Bayonetta before the third one comes out, I mean, I would encourage you to play the remaster instead of the original on Switch. But if you only have a Switch or you want to play it on Switch, then by all means play it on Switch. But the remaster is just much better, because we're talking the Switch version of the original Bayo. It's like a port of like 2009, 2008, something like that. It's old.
Yeah, it's getting kind of old now.
Yeah. I'm interested to see what they try to sell it for.
Yeah.
They might sell it for, I don't know, $30, $40, you think, maybe?
40, I would say.
If it's a physical copy?
Yeah.
And I'm sure to be super limited. And I already saw that, did you see the GameStop is apparently taking pre-orders already? And nobody said anything? Somebody went to GameStop and just asked. They're like, hey, can I put down a pre-order on Bayonetta, like the special edition and the original? And they're like, sure.
And GameStop said, yes, we'll take your money.
Sure.
We don't even know if it exists. We'll take your money. You want to pre-order,
I'm sure
Mario Kart 9? Let's go.
I'm sure the run. So Bayonetta 2, if you have you played these games?
Josh says it's $30 in chat. Josh Gore on chat says it's $29.99.
Have you played these games?
Like a good price. Oh, XBS said it too. No, I am not a Bayonetta fan. I'm a Bayonetta fan. I'm not a Bayonetta game fan.
I got you. You like the character.
Yeah.
Of course. Who doesn't? Who couldn't love posh Bayonetta? Like, she's such a badass. The game sold woefully on Wii U. It was like egregiously bad.
Because not that many people had the Wii U to begin with, and the people who did, I feel like that's not the type of game they're going to play.
It's a niche game at best. Like with 100 million possible customers that Switch could sell to, and I'm sure Bayonetta 3 will be the highest selling Bayonetta game. Yeah. I would still be shocked if it got to 2 million copies, 3 million copies. Like that would be kind of amazing, actually, if it did those kind of numbers. I don't remember, but I remember headlines back in the Wii U days where Bayonetta sold like 200,000 copies, like on Wii U. Like, that's all it sold was 200,000 copies.
A warehouse.
And they marketed it for like a year. So I'm sure that if you're like a collector and you fancy yourself a collector, get that Bayonetta cartridge, because I'm sure it's going to be hot. And I'm sure the print is going to be small. They're probably only going to print like 200,000 copies.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
And there probably will still be some sitting on the shelf.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe so.
But that being said, I think it does have a good home on the Switch compared to the Wii U for sure.
Oh, yeah.
I think it will do a lot better. I'm not a big, I guess it's like a hack and slash type of, very you're stabbing everything type of game. I don't know.
It is very much.
I tried the demo on the Wii U. There's just too much going on. I couldn't really follow it. I didn't really care to follow. It was very flashy. I'm just not into those types of games.
Okay, so it's very much old Capcom team that used to do Devil May Cry, left and went to Platinum and couldn't make Devil May Cry, so they made Bayonetta. And it's very much, it's not the same at any means, but it's very similar. They're very similar, like almost like twins, like, parallels. They're very similar. But I was just looking, this is from 2014. I'm looking at an article that said Bayonetta sold, it broke 1 million. So it took 5 years and it broke 1 million copies sold. And that was like back when it was on everything, not just a system exclusive. So if Bayonetta 3 hits 2 million, 2.5, 3, that's probably
that would be a big deal. Yeah.
That's a big success for them. Yeah. I hope it does. I really do. But the series itself, the games themselves, you're absolutely right. It's gratuitous. Obviously, that's what most people know it for, but it's extravagant. It is ridiculous. You're fighting in heaven and hell, and everything is super like Zack Snyder contrasty, like Snyder cut. Everything is like 300. It's just very big and epic, and it's nonsensical and it's over the top. And Bayonetta's just spinning on her head and her legs flailing everywhere. Yeah, and you're killing angels, and there's giant monsters, and buildings are collapsing, and all hell breaks loose.
Too much.
Bayonetta 2 opens.
Overstimulation.
She super kicks a fighter jet. Like, that's how the game starts. It's like 8 seconds into the game. She's shopping, looking amazing, by the way, in like this ridiculously long white gown, like she's at the Oscars or something. And a fighter jet comes down from the sky and comes to life, and she kicks it with her foot. Doesn't shoot it. Doesn't just
fun.
kicks it out of the sky. So yeah, you've got to be into that, which of course I am. I'm all about that crazy action, and yeah, it's a hack and slash action game. But like I said, there are like bullet hell things, like side scrolling, like they vary it up quite a bit. And Bayonetta 2 was quite a looker on the Wii U at the time. I mean, it was a really good looking game. So I'm excited. I've had this game. I had it pre-ordered for years. Back when it was announced, I eventually did cancel that pre-order, but I actually pre-ordered it not that long ago. I had $50 coupon at Best Buy, and I remember talking to Dev, and I think it was like a couple months ago, and I was like, I'll just go ahead and pre-order Bayo 3. And the reason that this is stuck in my mind, because he was like, is that coming out this year? Which always jogs my memory. I feel like every time I've talked to Nintendo fans or been on Shack, or every time I've mentioned it, everybody has assumed all year long that game is being delayed for some reason. That I was
hoping it wasn't. I have it on my Fantasy Critic League team this year, and I was hoping that it would come out, and it is. So I'm very happy to have that locked in, because it will be many points for me. I saw that there's going to be a special mode that if you don't want her to be nude or whatever, you can turn on like the non-mature mode.
That's so stupid.
Whatever it was. Like, why are you getting that game if you like? I guess like I'm never going to say no to more modes and more, options and things like that. But I just think it's
I
like
am definitely going to say no. Listen to your Shack.
Ironic.
No. Yeah, I forget what they're calling. Are they calling it like Hidden Angels mode or something? It's like
something like naive. It was like naive angels.
Yeah, it's a not safe for work mode. But so that's the thing is, my wife. I get that it's gratuitous, and especially the first one. There are so many like sweeping camera cuts where they just like swing the camera like right under her crotch. You're like, oh boy, what are you doing? But like the nudity itself, it's not like really nudity. It's like cleavage, and like you kind of see like half a cheek and a hip or something. Like it's not,
or like sheer clothing or something.
It's not nudity. God of War had nudity.
Yeah.
Grand Theft Auto has nudity. Yeah, Bayonetta is not nudity. It's just risque. It's kind of cheeky. It's a little taboo. Just a little.
Which
fringy.
I feel like if you're playing that game, like it already has an M rating. If you're playing that game to begin with, I feel like you're okay with that already.
I saw people on Twitter yesterday stating that they think the mode would be good because I think everybody's like, oh, it's for kids. I'm with you. I don't think it's who's buying this for kids. It didn't make any sense. But I saw people saying that it could be good for like content restrictions, like if you're streaming or if you're posting clips on Twitter or something, like make sure you don't get reported. I can't imagine anybody got reported. Like, are people getting stricken down for Bayonetta 2?
No,
I never seen anybody do that either.
It's not a banned game. You're allowed to play M-rated games.
Sure.
On Twitch. So.
And like I said, it's not nudity. Like you'd be really, kind of censoring stuff if you were taking that down. I mean, I love Bayonetta. I love how she uses her sex appeal. I do think it's an extremely sexy game, but I think she's a badass character even without all that. It's so nice, like that poshy, Britty, snippety type of remarks and the one-liners, and then she just backs it up, which is the fun part, because not only does she back it up from just being like a badass, like, Assassin's Creed girls are badasses. She's legit over the top action, spinning around side and flipping upside down, like she's a badass. The butterfly wings and everything. And I love the hair. Like that's the thing is it's built into the character. Like she's an Umbran witch. That's what it does. Like her hair, is her protection. And I think it's cool. It's no different than like something like Spawn, something like that. It's a very similar type of thing like that. So yeah, if you can't tell, I'm over the moon. Very excited.
Are you getting the special edition that was announced? It includes an art book and 3 reversible sleeves for all 3 games.
No, I don't think so. Like I said, it's not like I don't want to give off the impression I'm the biggest Bayonetta fan ever. Like I can't tell you the story. It's fucking nuts, actually. If you wanted to ask, there's like there's time travel, and then there's like this little girl named Cerveza who is Bayonetta, but like from the past, and like her dad brought her into the future, and like her dad wasn't her dad until you kill him, and then you find out he's possessed, but then he was his dad, and there's like a war. It's not like the game makes no sense. I'm sure it does. I'm sure somewhere out there is like a diehard Bayonetta fan, and they're just like scratching a chalkboard. They're like, it makes it. It doesn't make any sense. It is like Hideo Kojima levels.
Does it make
more
or less sense than the Kingdom Hearts timeline?
I think it might give Kingdom Hearts a run for its money. Because here's the thing: there's so much, like, you're either going back and forth in time, or you're going like between dimensions or like worlds, and like sometimes you don't even. I have a hard time even remembering, like, am I back in time in hell, or did I just come back from time and now I'm in hell? Like, it's hard to keep time in place. But to me, I've never really cared. I've always just been about the action. I try my best with the story, but it's about the gameplay. Who gives a shit about the story? Just beat up angels, do cool shit. But like I said, I've only replayed Bayonetta 1, and I don't think I finished it when I replayed the remaster that came out with Vanquish. I didn't finish it. So I'm not going to act like I'm the world's biggest Bayonetta fan. So I don't think I'm going to get the collector's edition, but I imagine that it'll sell well, at least to the collectors. They'll definitely want it. But I think if I didn't have any of them, I think I would. Okay. Like, if I was a Switch player and I didn't have any, I think I get the collector's edition. Because you get all three games.
It seems like it's not that impressive of a special edition for what it is. Like, you get an art book and some sleeves. Like, I would expect them to have a couple other things in there, but
if I had like a statue or something, I'd be more warranted. But I already have Bayonetta 2, which means I already have Bayonetta 1. They've been installed on my Switch. There are times, I'm sure you have a game like this too. There are definitely times when I'm just bored and I have nothing to do, but I have my Switch, where I have booted up Bayonetta and just played through like a level, just to like kill time. So that is one of the things I do like about Bayonetta. I'll go back to it. But like, I don't need to buy all three games again. I think that's where they got me. I was like, I'm not that interested.
That's like the really big fans.
Yeah, I would want like stuff. Like, if I want a collector's edition, I want something cool to put in my cubbies and on my shelf. That's what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for, just extra copies of the games and art books.
Yeah.
Do you do the art book stuff like in collector's edition? I don't.
Not for like everything. Like, I think I have like 2 or 3 art books. Like, I do like having art books.
But do you look at them? I guess is what I'm saying. Like, do you sit down and like pull them out and look at them?
I mean, the first time I got it, I did.
Sure. I have a few of them.
And now it's on the shelf. I have the Link's Awakening one for Switch. It's a nice art book.
Yeah, I have a few of them around, obviously, because they come in like every collector's edition comes with an art book and a soundtrack. So I've got a few of them around, but I got to tell you, like, I rarely look at them. I just kind of prop them up on my shelf and then never look at them again. So I just don't value them that much.
That's fair.
When they're like, here's an art book, I'm like,
see, I prefer when it's something that goes a little bit more in depth into like the development, like developmental sketches or like concept art and things like that. Like, that's the kind of stuff I value more than just like, okay, here's all the characters in the game, here's all the models, things like that.
Yeah, the Naughty Dog one is probably my favorite of all the ones that I've gotten. That one's definitely probably my favorite. Yeah. But yeah, most of them are just kind of stuff you see in the game.
Yeah. Our other, what I think is a big game announcement from this week, Kirby's Dream Buffet is announced for the Switch. It's the second Kirby game to release this year. Kirby fans are eating good. Pun intended. It's going to be an eShop only game releasing sometime this summer, which it is summer. I'm surprised they haven't given it a date yet. Yeah, it's got to be around the corner. People are comparing it to Fall Guys, actually, but with Kirby. You race as a ball through 4 levels against other players online, collecting food, and the more food you eat, you grow larger in size. You can knock each other around, go through obstacles. There's no word yet on the price, so we don't know how much it's going to cost. I think if it's an eShop only title, I don't see it being more than like $25. Yeah. Or the exact release date. So we will see, I guess. I don't know. Are you going to get it if it costs
Absolutely,
like $20?
I'm going to get it. I was happy that it's not. I'm happy that it's not free to play. I 100% understand why everybody just ran with, it's Fall Guys. But when I watch it play, I'm like, I don't think it's like Fall Guys. It's not like Fall Guys. To me, it kind of reminded me. You remember that So that fruit game, like Nintendo Land, was it Animal Crossing?
Mm-hmm.
Where you pick up all the fruit, but as the more fruit you pick up, like the slower you get, and you have to keep
Yeah,
trying
yeah,
to
yeah.
drop it off and stuff. I was like, it's kind of like that, but it is like this Fall Guys course evolution of like that kind of concept. But yeah, I was all for it. I was so happy. I love that JPEG of Kirby's big eyes and smiling face.
Yes.
I'm gonna use that for years. Like I'm gonna bookmark that and just use it every time.
I've seen some really good photoshops.
Every time there's a great announcement that I like, just get ready, Fike. Like that's it.
It's
Kirby face.
Oh, the Kirby face where he's like, yeah.
It's really good.
It does look cute. If the price is right, I'll get it. Also, if like the online stays populated, it looks like a very good party game. I could definitely see myself playing this. Ball Guys, that is good. That is a good title, Ball Guys.
Ball Guys. Don't search
Kirby
that on the
fans
internet.
are very... Kirby fans are eating good. Just today, last night, announced Nintendo is acquiring Dynamo Pictures. They're renaming it, of course, to Nintendo Pictures. This is a animation studio that previously made the Pikmin short movies. I totally forgot those existed.
Those are pretty cool, actually.
So this acquisition is expected to close on October 3rd. Of course, we don't know what Nintendo plans. Are they planning short films? Are they planning more movies, animation? What are they doing with this? Why do they want their own animated studio?
What else have they done?
They did a bunch of stuff that I had never heard of before, which doesn't mean it's not important. Like, I think there's like some anime type stuff that they've done.
The studio has a diverse portfolio of animation and motion capture projects under its belt and has done work for several games, including Monster Hunter World and Death Stranding. So I would imagine that Nintendo is probably picking them up to help them support in their game development, and not necessarily to make shorts.
We're calling it Nintendo Pictures.
Well, that's a good call. Maybe they are going to do something like that then. That's interesting. That was the kind of I posted earlier.
Like they're not just absorbing them; they're keeping it as a company.
Yeah. I saw it earlier, but I didn't really dig into it. But yeah, maybe they are going to try to get into a little more media type stuff.
They see the success in whatever they're doing with the Mario movie with Illumination. Maybe they're saying, hey, like maybe we can do some more stuff in house. I don't know.
Hopefully they don't try to release it on the eShop for fees again.
Ridiculous.
Give us $2 to watch this 4-minute clip that should be on YouTube.
Oh, ridiculous. Yeah. Yep. Another little tidbit of news. Nintendo put out a little... they didn't put out a statement, but somebody, I guess, dug up and reported on that they are now internally acknowledging same-sex marriage and benefits despite Japanese law. So, and I didn't even know that. I didn't know that same-sex marriages were not legal in Japan until I read this.
I didn't know that either.
I'm going to read like some snippets of like quote blurb what was in their statement here. At Nintendo Japan, we want to create a work environment that supports and empowers each and every one of our unique employees. We introduced the partnership system in March 2021 as one initiative based on this philosophy. Although same-sex marriage is not currently recognized under Japanese law, this system ensures employees who are in a domestic partnership with a same-sex partner have the same benefits as employees in an opposite-sex marriage. We also have established that a common law marriage between couples will be observed in the same way as a legal marriage. In addition, we revised our internal regulations regarding harassment to clearly prohibit discriminatory comments based on sexual orientation or gender identity, as well as disclosing someone's privately held sexual orientation against their will. This is very cool of Nintendo. So this apparently went into place in March 2021, but I guess it's kind of coming out now that they're doing it. Very cool that, despite the Japanese law, like I feel like that's like a big step for them to take, like, hey, this isn't legally recognized here, but we want to make sure that our employees have the same benefits.
Yeah, just to formally adopt it.
Yeah. Very cool.
And it probably helps because they're, it was probably a conflict because they're a global company. They've got headquarters and bases all over the world. It's probably really hard to try and police people, like under different governments. It's probably easier to just adopt a company-wide policy that can apply to everybody, that everybody can run with.
So yay, applause for Nintendo for doing something very good. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet fans, beware. The game is leaking.
Have you looked into this yet?
Yeah.
I know that it's leaking everywhere, but I haven't seen any of it.
So basically what I'll share are not like very heavy leaks. I am just going to say like what the leaks entail. Yeah. So this is apparently coming from at least one or two people who have play tested the game. They put out these extremely blurry shots. Like I'm talking like it is so blurry.
Hasn't this happened?
You can't even yes. Pokemon always leaks. Always. Never this early though. Never this early. You can just make out that some of the Pokemon are evolutions of previously announced Pokemon. Like some of the new ones, like the evolutions for the starters, Lechonk. Like you really can't make anything out except for like it's like 20p, like blurry. You can't tell. These are like worst pictures ever, Donnie. Like I feel like if you're trying to like apparently they weren't allowed to have their phones in while they were playtesting, so they were like sitting here like.
Whose phone doesn't take an HD picture of something?
But I don't know. It was like very like they were risking a lot to do this. Apparently,
I'm starting to feel like it's like UB leaks. Like this is like controlled leaks to like hype people.
Can I read like two small spoilers? Like I consider these to be small spoilers. You don't care. Just a heads up for anyone who cares. I know. I'm just giving the listeners a heads up. These are small spoilers, but if you care, plug your ears for like 3 minutes.
Let's spoil it, baby. Let's do it.
So apparently, this is all not speculation, but like at the word of these playtesters. Apparently, this generation's gimmick involves evolution being less like Pokemon evolution and more Darwinism-like. Like we're seeing some forms for some other Pokemon, but they're saying they're not regional forms. There is an ancient form, which I guess would be in Pokemon. Oh, wait, am I?
It happened again.
I'm sorry.
And it's funny, I can see your network signal. That must be new. I don't think I've ever noticed that before.
Oh.
And right before you bounced, your network signal just like went like all the way to the bottom.
Is it the Nintendo ninjas? Are they
ninjas?
Trying to stop me from?
You were like, listen, here are the spoilers. It was just like.
I'll start that sentence over. Instead of the evolutions being more Pokemon evolution-like one evolves into the next, apparently it's more Darwinism-like. So there's like an ancient version of that Pokemon, which I assume will be in Pokemon Scarlet, the past game, and a futuristic type of form, which I assume will be in Pokemon Violet. There's also some kind of gimmick that involves powering up an alternate typing of a Pokemon. So like, let's say you want to power up Pikachu in a fire type sense and have like really strong fire type moves. You could do that. So the gimmick involves something around those lines.
That's weird.
And then what I thought was
we've had dual Pokemon for a while now. And we've had a lot of customization where you could like change. We could play with their types. Yeah. But like this sounds like the same thing, but why go so far out of the way to make it seem different when that was already like a well-adopted principle, I guess.
I don't know. It's probably a lot more complex than that. That's just like
I wonder if they have story-related reasons for it, which I think is kind of cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
It could be cool.
Yeah. And then what I thought was a little bit more interesting than that is that allegedly, as we were hoping, the gyms can be done in any order. But the play testers are saying that the levels don't scale. So like if you go to like the hardest gym, like the one that's like furthest away or whatever,
just
like
get smashed.
It'll be really hard. But there's some questioning. They're saying that this might be something that could be changed by the time the game releases, and that this might have only been like a thing like for the play testing purposes, that like they have like maybe wanted them to go in a certain way or something like that. Sure. So we don't know if that's something that's going to get changed or not.
The last one we could go in any different direction, right?
In Sword and Shield?
Yeah. Was that a thing? No?
No, okay. It was linear. You just go straight up the region.
Okay.
Yeah. But I would love it if we can do the gyms in any order, but if it's scaled, I feel like that would add just so much replayability to it, because like, let's say you're playing the game again, maybe you do the gyms in a different order and they have different Pokemon, or like it could be a little bit harder if like you don't have certain party members yet, things like that.
Make it a little more procedural, a little more just change it up. I just want the story.
It sounded good. Yeah,
I just want the story to be good.
It sounds promising, like with all these themes of past, future, like I'm really excited to learn more about this. I thought with all of this leaking that we were going to get like a Pokemon Presents this week or something, or like at least a trailer. Like I think they're going to launch a trailer.
YouTube video would drop soon.
I
Because the
think we're gonna get
leakers,
it
like
next
the
week.
inside leakers, keep hinting at Pokemon stuff. Like they keep dropping these cryptic Pokemon things.
There is apparently they are like filming some kind of live action thing right like this week or last week or something in Spain, which people are thinking that it has to do with a trailer for Pokemon because the region takes place in Spain and the first trailer was kind of had some live action bits to it. So there could be some kind of trailer around the corner.
I'm like hesitant. I'm like trepidatiously like waiting, just I've missed on so much Pokemon in the last few years that I'm like, this is the first Pokemon game in a decade that I'm only buying one copy of.
Ooh.
Buying
one copy of the game. This might be the one that's worth buying 2 copies.
I'm gonna give Jack the copy, and we'll swap back and forth, and I'll play instead of because I've always bought him 2. I've always bought him 1 and me 1, and we've always traded. And this I'm just like I can't. Just because what always happens, what's happened the last 2 or 3 is that I play it for a weekend and burn out and just trade it in. And I was like, I just wait.
I am exactly where I am in my typical cycle where I am getting unreasonably excited and hungry for more information.
Oh, I got you again. You're gonna do the same thing all over again. Fast forward to
this time
November 20th.
Different.
You're gonna be like, it happened again. They got me again.
Obviously going to be different this time, and I haven't said that every single time.
Right.
It'd
be great right now if I had prepared for this and we just had clips to you like back last year, the year before.
But like, I really have said that because like with the 3DS era, I was like, this is going to be so good. It's on the 3DS. It's in 3D. It's going to be so cool. And then Sun and Moon came, and I know you love Sun and Moon, so just ignore my opinion. Like, just ignore that for a second. My opinion is that I didn't like it, but I was so excited because I'm like, okay, well, Sun and Moon is going to fix everything that wasn't right with Generation 6. Like, it's going to be awesome. And then, like, they did the Ultra Sun stuff, and then it's coming to Switch. And I'm like, okay, like, the power of the Switch, this is going to be awesome. And now my argument is, well, now they have the practice developing for the Switch, so it's going to be awesome this time.
Yep. I miss Let's Go at this point.
Like, XPS is exactly right. The next step is about like August, September. I'm going to be like, actually, I'm probably not going to get that into it. And then like November, like the last couple of weeks when it's all leaking, I've got to have my hands on it.
I mean, you got to get the duck.
Then I'm going to be bored by the end of December.
You got to do it for Sprigatito.
No. I'm getting Sprigatito.
Right. Yeah. You got to be there for Sprigatito. Just like I got to be there for the Quacks.
And I will tape down his paws.
I'm naming my Quaxley the Quacks. Dibs. I've already called it. His name is just the Quacks, like the Rock. He's the Rock of Pokemon, just the Quacks.
I like it. I'm naming my Sprigatito Frisk.
Of course. Yeah. We've all had the pet named Pokemon.
I named my Litten in Sun and Moon after my cat Tiger, who passed away. And now Sprigatito will be Frisk.
I think I named Growlithe in Sun and Moon after Archie. Just Archie Growlithe.
Friskatito.
That's good. You should name him Friskatito instead of Frisk. It's better.
Friskatito.
Friskatito's better.
Yeah, I'm going to do it. It's like Kitten Frisk.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it.
What if you don't like the evolution?
Then I don't evolve it. I never evolved my Litten.
I'm the same way.
I didn't like Tony the Tiger, so I didn't evolve it.
Yeah. Usually if I want an evolution, then I'll just get 2.
Yeah. I mean, trading's going to be so easy, so.
I just hope the story's good. Like, I just want a good reason I just need motivation to keep doing the same thing over and over again. It felt like with Sword and Shield, Nintendo was like, look, nobody cares. They just want to do the same thing over and over anyway. So why are we spending our time on this? And everybody was just happy to just keep doing the same thing over again. I was like, no. I need the artificial reason. I'm invested in the story. It's like I read the articles. I read it for the articles. I need give me the motivation to do it.
All right. That's going to do it for our news. We do have a whole host of questions, though, because everyone loves to write in, and I love reading everybody's questions because they're always so good. So we're going to start off with a question from Yarden. He wants to know, is there a game that you think is so bad it could be considered Moonfall bad?
That's a term for me. Have you seen Moonfall?
I haven't, but I heard about this and realized that I have forgotten something, Yarden, and I will remember to do that.
What did you forget?
I gotta talk to Yarden about something. No big deal. Carry on. Tell me about Moonfall.
Great. Okay. Well, obviously, I think the answer is Balan Wonderworld. Balan Wonderworld is Moonfall bad.
Of this generation.
Yeah. My answer was going to be Snake Pass, but I think I'm just bitten by that one because there's a lot of people that really like that game. It was a game. It came out early. I think it was called Snake Pass. Maybe it's not called Snake Pass.
Oh, I remember you talking about this game.
There was a game that came out early on Switch. It was this indie game where you crawled around as this damn snake. And like, for whatever reason, this game hit huge. Like every podcast, every YouTube channel. Like, I don't know if it was just marketing or
there was nothing else on Switch. There was nothing else to play.
Everybody just ran with this game. They're like, it's so good. 9 out of 10. I have never... Very rarely on Switch, if I bought a game, I've been so upset with purchasing. Like, I have never wanted a refund policy so bad. I just didn't get it. But there are people that legit like the game, so I can't say it's Moonfall bad, because Moonfall is just bad.
Balan Wonderworld is definitely the answer for this generation.
Yeah, Balan Wonderworld's got to be the answer, because it's just bad.
Yeah. I feel like there's at least one game like that every console gen. Like, I remember N64, like that Superman 64 was horrible.
Yeah. Yeah, and it can't be like a bad game that nobody knows or cares about. It can't be just like some trash from the eShop. It's got to be a game that people recognize and knows, and then also is disappointing.
Yeah,
for sure.
G-Man wants to know, it's the 30th anniversary for 2 series, Kirby and Mario Kart. I remembered Kirby. I definitely didn't remember that Mario Kart was the 30th anniversary. He wants to know, what is something you would totally do? Just because I know one of you is Nintendo. Garrett's
I'm not Nintendo.
Here. That's Garrett. He will be back. Anything that would make the fans very happy to give them that would spark?
I mean, I think we're about to get more DLC, right? Like those expansion passes are about to drop. So I have barely played it. I subscribed. I got the pass and everything. I played those Mario Kart tracks like one day.
Really?
Yeah, it was like one night I played them and I never played it again.
See, I wish that we had been given more of a roadmap. They told us that each DLC wave would be released before the end of 2023, which is good. There's like 8 waves or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that like it would have been nice to say like, okay, the next one's going to be, this month, at least like a give us a block, like summer or like July or something. Because I do feel like this is it's going to drag out.
Of course. Wait, Nintendo's going to drag out release announcements?
More than I thought it was.
You don't say.
I don't know.
It's what they do.
I know.
You know, dog.
I think I would have preferred them to do like 3 or 4 bigger waves. But I think the good thing here is maybe we haven't. I saw somebody bring up, I think maybe one of the reasons why we're not getting this new wave, the next wave soon enough, is because they might be trying to fix some of the complaints that people had about like how the first wave looked, how it doesn't incorporate like the gravity effects for Mario Kart 8 and things like that. They might be trying to like polish it up a little bit first, which is fine.
I mean, had they actually held a direct, which is a whole other topic, but it would have been cool if they had never announced any of this and they were just like, the direct happened and they were like, here's all of this Mario Kart content for the anniversary, and boom.
God.
And it's out now, like subscribers go play. Like that I think I would have played it more, but because they're rolling it out like, well, here's a cup and there's a cup, and like,
it's like you almost don't want to play it until like all of the content's out, or like most of the content's out.
But when I played that first cup that came out, that first wave, I think I'm over Mario Kart 8. Like it's an amazing, great game, but I've played it for so long. Yeah. I've played that game for so long. Like I'm good. I don't need to play it. Like I need a new Mario Kart. When are you gonna do the anniversary? New Mario Kart game. Like I need to do something else.
It'll launch with the next console, but it's not going to be with whatever the next Switch is, because this DLC is going to extend until next year.
Yeah.
So you can wish your Mario Kart 9 goodbye for now. Kirby,
none
I
of
feel
it's
like, is
even-
getting a very lovely anniversary this year, and I don't know what I would do to make it any better. They are getting 2 games. They're getting a whole bunch of merchandise. They are, I think they got like a concert or something like that. Like,
Best Kirby game ever.
Kirby is doing well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's flourishing. So I can't think of anything else I would do for that.
I love a new Kirby Dream Course game.
Yeah, of course you
That'd
would.
be fun. Mm-hmm.
Grouchy wants to know. He has a burning question. What gets more use, your Switch or your Chromebook?
My Chromebook, for
Really?
sure. Yeah, my Chromebook gets more use than most console. Like I use my Chromebook every day.
I guess I technically have a Chromebook. I almost never use it. I have my work Chromebook that I use for work,
Mm-hmm.
personal Chromebook that I almost never use, and I have my PC, which is what I use when I am using the computer. I feel
Sure.
like if I'm like sitting, laying in bed or sitting on the couch or something, I just use my phone.
Okay.
I don't really use my Chromebook anymore.
And that's what I would do is I don't use my phone. I use my Chromebook. So if I'm sitting watching TV, my Chromebook typically sits on the little end table right there. And I pull out my Chromebook and I'll surf Discord or Twitter or whatever. When I go to work, I take my Chromebook with me. It's my go machine. So if I'm in meetings and stuff, if I'm traveling, if I'm at work, whatever, my Chromebook's always with me. So my Chromebook gets quite a bit of use. Rebecca, I put a bunch of ROMs on it. I put Minish Cap on it. Yeah, because my Chromebook, I just got a really nice Chromebook. It has an LED screen in it, or OLED.
Nice.
An OLED screen in it.
Yeah.
So I set up like Mario Golf Advanced Tour, and I set up Minish Cap, which I've never played. And so I was thinking about, one day I think I'll probably give that a try because I'm kind of in the Zelda mood. And so I said I've got a bunch of ROMs. I can play NCAA football on it. I can play Little Big Planet on it. I can play Metal Gear on it. So
That's
the Chromebook's pretty snazzy.
Crawler wants to know, what franchise would you like to see get the Paper Mario style? Of course, he says Paper Legend of Zelda game would work really well. I feel like that's the one that always comes to mind for me.
Yeah,
I think we've had this
say
question.
Yeah.
I think there was a fan-made trailer. Like, they didn't make the game, they made a trailer of what that would look like. Give me that. That's the game that I want.
Because the Paper Mario game on Switch is gorgeous. I would love a Zelda game in that style. I would also be cool for a Paper Kirby game. I think Kirby would take to that pretty well. But honestly, most things, maybe not most things. I'm trying to think. Did it like Donkey Kong? I don't want Paper Donkey Kong.
Are we assuming that it would be like an RPG type style?
Yeah, or like a platformer. Yeah.
Platformer.
Like I'm thinking like a Kirby platformer.
I know people didn't like Hey Pikmin. I don't know why people didn't like it, but for some reason that just popped in my mind. What if it was a side-scrolling, like paper type art style for Pikmin? Do you think that could work?
I think it could work. Yeah, it's not. Pikmin has such a great style. I would hate to see them.
I know it
deviate from
does. It does.
Whereas Kirby's done yarn and all kinds of great. Like Kirby can be anything.
What
Like
about
Kirby's kind of like
Yoshi?
Mario. Yoshi the same way. Like Yoshi.
Yeah.
Yoshi's Crafted World had a lot of like paper and cardboard and stuff elements in there. So like that's an easy one for sure.
Yeah.
Paper Fire Emblem. Let's go.
Paper Earthbound. That would be cute.
That would be cute, actually. That's a good one.
Like not even like a mainline game. Like even if it was just some kind of spin-off, like a short adventure in the paper style.
Mm-hmm.
Adam wants to know, does
Paper Box Boy.
Paper Box. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, right? Right?
Sure. Yeah,
it's already flat.
paper snipping clips. Snip. What is the?
Wait a minute. If you do,
clips.
This is really dumb dad joke. If you do Paper Box Boy, is it just Paper Boy?
Paper Boy. Oh, that already exists.
How stupid was that? I love
Paper Boy. There you go. Gyro says Paper Boy.
Paper Boy.
Adam has a good question. He wants to know, does there need to be a mainline Nintendo game other than Rabbids in 2022? Of course, the Prime remaster would be cool. I still want more, like another Legend of Zelda game before Breath of the Wild 2.
Everybody's jonesing for Zelda so hard.
I'm like starting to get worried that this is just not going to happen.
What's not going to happen?
Like another holiday game.
I think there's another one. Yeah, I think there's an extra game.
You do?
Yeah, it's the Metroid game.
Is that like the holiday game though?
I don't know, like holiday. I'm not putting those quotes on it, but I think there's another game that's coming out in this quarter, and I think it's. I mean, I interrupt my trust. I think it's
September or October, if anything.
Yeah. No, I don't think they need another game.
You don't think there's
like need is such a hard thing. Like they've got such a stellar lineup. They've got Live Alive, they've got Xenoblade, and that's going to push us into Splatoon. Which is Splatoon! Push us, right? Yeah, like they've got so many games, which will push us into Rabbids, which will push us into Bayo, which will push us into Pokemon. Like they've got an incredible lineup of games.
Yeah.
Do they need a game? No, I don't think they need a game. I think Advance Wars will be dated, and I think it comes out this winter.
Okay.
I think it comes out like December or January.
I hope so.
You know, like how they've like in the past couple years, they've always kind of pushed like that port. You know, like the Fire Emblem hashtag, Tokyo Mirage Sessions. Like they've always had like that game that they throw in like January, like January 5th. I'm starting to wonder if Advance Wars, it's kind of like this place to stash like a non-important, but we want to put something out game. Yeah. And I think they're like, I'm wondering if that's what they've done, is that they've delayed it and they've just circled it. And they're like, January. We'll put it out in January and nobody will care.
I hope so. That would be cool.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think that counts. Advance Wars, it's got to count.
Yeah.
My question, Rebecca, is Sports Story coming out this year?
No.
There's no hope. There's got to be third-party games that have got to come out this fall. Like, is that everything? Was what we got in that third-party direct? That was it? There's nothing else?
Small stuff, maybe.
Like
we need a date for Oxenfree.
Yeah, like Oxenfree. Yeah. Yeah, see, there's stuff. Like Sports Story. There's stuff. They've
been radio silent.
I know. So silent. It's bothered me so much. That's all I wanted. That's all I wanted in the last round. All I wanted was Sports Story.
I know. I'm sorry. This question is related. Gag says, with Nintendo's remaining release schedule for 2022 getting packed, do we still think the rumored Metroid Prime Remaster is still 2022 or slipping into 2023 if it exists?
I think it exists, and I think it's coming this year.
I think it exists, and I think it should come out this year. Yeah.
I think they're waiting. They're waiting for their next marketing beats to get beyond some of their bigger releases that are coming up. That's what, like, they just dropped the Kirby announcement. They've got Splatoon. They've got Xenoblade. Like, they got to get through that. Like, there's no point in being like, and Metroid just overshadow all of the stuff that they've releasing in the next 4 weeks. It's like, no.
Would it overshadow it if it's a remaster?
I think so, because it's Metroid. Yeah, Metroid Prime, I think, will.
Yeah, maybe I guess in 2022. I feel like 5 years ago it never would have overshadowed it.
Isn't it weird how Metroid doesn't sell? Like Dread didn't sell, like, it didn't sell poorly, but like I thought it was going to sell a lot more. I think everybody did.
It sold the best
of course.
It's so great for Metroid.
For Metroid, that's exactly. You're right. I guess the point I was trying to make is, given the market cap and everything, I had higher hopes for it. So Metroid doesn't sell like Animal Crossing, like Zelda, like Mario, like, it doesn't sell. But yet it does have so much like conversation. It has so much recognition and talk and like there's so much that swirls around Metroid. At least amongst
in our bubble. Yeah, it's our bubble.
No, at least exactly. At least amongst like video game fans are like really into. I don't even if they're not into Metroid, they're really into, like, it's just a topic. People have been talking about Metroid, I feel like, almost nonstop for 3 years. Meanwhile, it's like, does anybody remember Donkey Kong or Star Fox? Like, Metroid never goes away. Like, there are always talks of Metroid. And I find that to be interesting. Like, Animal Crossing, 40 million people bought copies of that game. And here we are, like, is Metroid Prime coming out this year? Like, it's fascinating. I don't quite know if there's another game quite like it. To have such a niche cult-like game generate so much buzz as Metroid.
Yeah, you're right. I wish it was beyond our circle because it's not.
Of course. Yeah. Yeah. I never root against it. I'd love to see it be wildly successful. I think it's
I
deserving.
wish that it would, because you named their biggest franchises: Mario, Zelda, Splatoon, and Animal Crossing are their big four right now. Whether you want to admit that or not, that's their big four right now. I wish that they would have a big five and have Metroid up there.
I think they do too. Like Fire Emblem sells more than Metroid, and I don't, you don't, outside of a few people, like I don't know a whole lot of people talking about that stuff, but man, like Metroid, it seems like it's always on the tips of people's tongues. Like, I don't know. It's almost like a mythical status. It's like just talking about it, like gets clicks or gets buzz, gets coverage. It's just like, hey man, things are slow. Like let's start talking about Metroid. Let's get them going. Let's rev the engine. Throw something out there about Metroid. Get everybody talking about it again.
Yeah, I do think it will be this year, Gags. Gab has a very good question that I would love the answer to. They want to know, when is Splatoon 3's test fire happening, in your opinion?
After
it
Xenoblade.
Should have happened by now.
After Xenoblade.
I think so too. When is that released? In
I was going to say, like 2 weeks? Yeah. I think they're waiting for Xenoblade to get out of the way and all of that, and then they'll start talking about Splatoon.
Because normally, if you go by the first two games, we should have had the test fire by now.
That's probably
And I'm wondering if, because they did that flip-flop on the dates for those two games, you're probably right. They're probably waiting for that to come out. Then they'll do a Splatoon-style direct in like late July, early August.
There's still a lot we don't know about the game.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah. And then immediately following that direct, they'll say, okay, here's the test fire window.
Yep. That's what I think. I think they're just waiting to get.
Yeah.
They just don't want to.
It's gonna be close, but
yeah, they just don't want to take the shine off of Xenoblade while it's releasing. They want to get that out, and all the tweets and all the commercials and all the things that Nintendo does for the next 2.5 weeks will be all about Xenoblade, and then it'll switch and it'll be all about Splatoon.
Which I cannot wait.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Xenoblade fans. Do not care. I do not care. Give me Splatoon. Give it to me. Inject it in my veins. I need it.
If they had pre-orders for that system the day they announced it, I think I would have got one just because I was so excited that day. But having had to wait on it, now I'm not going to get it at all.
Really?
Like I talked myself out of it. And I have credit at GameStop that I've had for a while, like a lot. Like I could cut that in half. I could get that system for half. I could get that system for a Switch Lite right now.
Did I tell you what I'm doing?
I listen to the show obviously every week, and I've heard it. You are splitting. You guys are parting out. You're buying a Switch and basically dissecting it
3 ways,
sending the pieces of it all across the country.
Internationally,
right?
Going to Canada.
Wow, those Joy-Con are amazing.
That's what I'm getting. That's the piece that I'm getting. The Joy-Con.
I want those too. I wonder what they'll go for on eBay. I bet they'll go for like $200.
I personally think they're the best Joy-Con design yet.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Yeah, without a doubt, they are. They're great.
Like they beat.
I want those Joy-Con. That's the thing is, I'm not even going to talk about what I could talk about, so I'm not even going to say the words. I was committed to that coming to the show. I was like, I'm not going to talk about it. But like,
what are you not talking about?
I'm not going to talk about it. But there's not a big. I don't feel very like urged to buy new Nintendo hardware now or soon, or
I understand. Oh, that's what you're not talking about.
I'm not going to talk about it. So like, I'm just like, I've got this money. I could totally buy it. And I could have the thing that I want, but I'm like, but it probably makes more sense to just be a little bit more.
The way you buy and sell your consoles, though, you totally could.
I 100%. I mean, here's the thing. What I would probably do is what you're doing. Like, I 100% think that if I got it, what would end up happening is I would just keep the Joy-Con and sell everything else,
But you already have an OLED.
Yeah, so I think I'm just gonna I think I'm just gonna pass.
I will post lots of pictures of my beautiful Joy-Con.
I will live vicariously through you.
Please do. Ghosties99 has a question for me, for Rebecca. Okay. You are doing your Rebecca's Retro Summer, which has been so much fun on my Twitch streams. Are you considering adding any games to the list I already have? I think I have 12 games right now. I'm on number 6, so I'm almost halfway through, and it's July 14th. I go back to work late August, so if I get through them, I have some ideas for other games.
Clock
Richard
Tower.
Games, come check out my channel. Hawk Tower, what's that?
Clock Tower.
Oh, Clock Tower. Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Parasite
no.
Eve.
No.
Yes.
It's fine. It's totally fine.
Mario Golf Advanced Tour.
Okay, well, it's better. See, my games are all under 10 hours long. They're all games that I've never played before. Some of them are under 5 hours long. Many of them are like kind of 1, 2 sitting tops. I already played Metal Slug 1 and 2.
Those are good.
Yeah, that was my first time ever playing Metal Slug. It
Clock
was so
Tower
much
you
fun.
can beat in 7 hours.
Clock Tower is one of the hardest games of all time.
What?
That's what I heard. I heard Clock Tower was so hard.
I beat that game when I was in middle school, and I am not very good at games. Yeah,
Somebody told me that was very hard.
It's more mental. I do remember in middle school, I had to reference a guide to figure out the puzzle at the end. But
Kyle just said he quit Clock Tower.
What? Are you talking about the Super Nintendo Clock Tower or the PlayStation Clock Tower?
We're talking about the Super Nintendo Clock Tower.
Nobody cares. That didn't count. We're talking about PlayStation Clock Tower, like the Clock Tower. Okay. 1996 version of Clock Tower.
Okay.
It's so bad. I played it. Like, I love it to death. This is my favorite games. It was so seminal.
I didn't even know that existed.
But I replayed it in my PlayStation Classic and I have it in my Chromebook. And like playing with my wife, she's like, this is terrible. It's like, you're talking about one of my favorite games. Don't say that. But I would love it. It needs to be remastered. It's point and click, right? And imagine what you think Telltale point and click can be boring. Imagine what a point and click game from 1995 is like. It's so slow. You're just like tap, 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 tap. But I do love that game.
I will consider it. I have some other ideas also as well.
I don't think I have anything that you wouldn't have played, and you've definitely played all the RPGs that I could ever want to. I have nothing to offer as tribute.
Okay. Finally, Mike has the most important question of all. Ooh. What is the correct way to hang toilet paper? Over or under? There is one answer, Donnie. There's one answer.
You're going to hate my answer.
Get out.
You're going to hate it.
Get out. And you know I'm going to hate it because you know you're wrong. Right?
Oh,
Deep down, you know
because my answer isn't either one of the things that you just said. That's why I know it's... Yeah.
What?
Right. So... I need a.
Do you have one of those things where it like sits like this and then it
yes, it sits vertical and I just put it on and it's exactly that's what I was about to say. I redid all of my bathroom like accessories about a year ago, and I had new towel holders and I hung up like little hooks for like all my belts and stuff. And yeah, I have the vertical like spool, like pole. That I slapped on the side of my new, because I bought a new vanity and a new mirror, and it's just vertical. And so when I pull it, like rolls left to right or whatever, like sideways. Everybody, you're like, it's got to be under or over, and I was like, uh-oh.
Okay, my current situation is similar, possibly worse, because I just moved into this new place, and for one, the like little toilet paper holder, it's like in the wall, but it's way down so close to the ground, and it's like far away. Like you have to, it's like an Olympic sport to reach where the toilet paper is in my new bathroom. So for one, that's annoying, and I kept bumping my head because there's like shelving right there. And then number two, I got a cat, and I wasn't sure if he would be the kind that like
Kirby does it.
Yeah, and it's so low. So I'm like, this is not going to be good. So instead, I put just the regular roll of toilet paper up on the shelf, not in any holder. So I take it down and just do my toilet paper.
Reach up.
I need to get one of those vertical ones that you have. I don't know if I have like the floor space for it. Like, I don't know if it can't take up too big of a footprint, I guess. But the correct answer
toilet
is
down here
over. That is the correct answer.
Here in my basement, it's a finished basement, so my basement has its own bathroom. So like there's a bathroom in my room, the master bathroom upstairs, but that's like Melissa's bathroom. It's basically her room. I just sleep there. Everything up there is hers. My closet and everything is down here. So that's like her room, this is my room. And then on the main floor, we have the kids' bathroom. So my bathroom down here is finished, but the toilet they put in is in like this tiny little hole that they put in. So back when, one of the big reasons why I switched the toilet paper holder is they had it on the wall next to the toilet, but the space was so cramped and small that I would always hit it when I got up or sat down. So yeah, I took it off and I put it on the side of my vanity. So mine is like right in front of me. Like I lean forward and, so.
Well, yeah, that's where mine is too. But like the wall is far enough away that it's like I have to reach.
You've got to reach. Yeah, mine's not that far.
Doing that.
Yeah. And actually the thing that I loved about it when I put it in is if you walk in the doorway of the bathroom, you can't see it because it's on the side of the cabinet. So it's out of view. It's out of mind. It's hidden. So I was like, that was nice clean look.
I gotta come up with a vertical thing like that. Send me a picture of your toilet paper. Before use, obviously. Do not send me a picture of your used toilet paper, Donnie.
Everybody send pictures of your toilet paper.
No, don't say that because they will.
What's it? At Forrest Minish.
Stop.
Pictures of your toilet paper. Just one long thread. Wall pilot.
Turning off deactivated my Twitter account as we speak. That is gonna do it. I'm calling it here. That's gonna do it tonight, Kooblings. Donnie, thank you so much for filling in. I know Garrett is away this week, and Elaine has been so busy with work. And so I appreciate you stepping in.
Is she even a member of the team anymore? I don't think I spoke to her in like a month.
I know. She pops up. I think she's been on Shaq more than she's been on PSVG.
That's okay.
I feel bad because her work makes her do stuff in the evening.
Every week we were going through a thing with her. Every week she'd be like, sorry guys. And I like eventually I was like, stop, just go do Shaq. And whenever you want to guest, like you can come back, but like just go focus on Shaq now. Like we're covered. We're good.
We don't want it to become like a hardship or like something that feels like it's an obligation or spending your only free time doing this, things 100%. Like that. So
yep,
that's why we're a team and why we're able to fill in and stuff like this. So but yeah, next week I will be talking about my Live Alive uncensored opinions.
Game of the year.
I'm really excited for it. No,
you told me, guys, 11 out of 10.
I'm going to be talking about that, and then I don't care. I'm going to be talking about Stray because Stray comes out next week too, and
sure,
I'm going to talk about that game. I'm so excited
next
for
week.
it.
So I'm playing Horizon, and I just have too much to play. I don't know why I decided to just try to play Horizon right in the middle of all the games coming up. There's something else coming out next week as well. I can't remember.
I think so. I don't know. Stray
Forza DLC comes out next week.
Yeah.
So somehow I got to play Horizon, Stray, and Forza.
Have fun.
None of that's on Switch, by the way. So happy Shaq
I really hope that Stray actually is truly good because...
Of course.
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Do you know there's an achievement that if you meow 100 times, you get a trophy?
I know now. I'll start.
There's a dedicated meow button.
That's awesome.
Do you know how time traveling works
in
that game,
Donnie? How has this not happened yet? How has nobody made a cat game?
Do you know how fast travel works in that game? Your cat goes in a bucket, and the bucket is on like a line that goes like a what's it called when you do the the zip lining, and it goes down the zip line, and you're in this little bucket, and you can meow, and it's so cute.
I'm so into this. You obviously have done. I have done nothing. I have not looked into it at all. I saw the first trailer, and I was like, definitely gonna play that. And then I was gonna buy it, and they were like, and it comes out on PlayStation Plus, whatever. I was like, okay. So
I've been tweeting pictures of my cat looking like the cat in the game to Annapurna, whatever the developer is. Annapurna.
That is somewhat bittersweet with me because when the collector's edition was unveiled, Devin messaged me and he was like, "You've got to get this. You've got to get it because of Kirby, because it looks just like Kirby looks like all the orange cats." It does. There is a part every time I see it, I do think of Kirby, which is not a bad thing, but I still very, very much miss Kirby. I'm sure you've seen this already, but I just recently discovered that the TikTok advertisements of the people that make keychains after photos.
I have one of those. Yes, I have one. I have one as a necklace.
I'm going to send them the Kirby photo, and I'm going to see if they can
make
me
one
of Kirby. Yeah.
Yes, they look so good. Like I can attest to it. We got one during Zelda's final. So my dog Zelda, she died January, like the month of January. And so for Christmas, my mom got me, like during her last month, a little picture of her, and it looks so good. You will love doing that for Kirby.
I definitely want to get one. I said to my wife, I was like, oh, I absolutely have to get one now.
Mm-hmm.
Because yeah, I still very much, I love, like, you know, Fred is so much like Kirby. I think that helps a lot.
Aww.
And I think to Annabelle, I mean more to her than I did to Kirby. But nobody, like, they're not Kirby. I don't think there ever will be. So there's a big part of me that wants to play Stray just for that feeling again. Because he looks just like Kirby. I think even the eye color is the same. They look alike, like almost identical. So.
Oh, yay! I love cats. I'm so glad you're going to be playing this.
My family think it's crazy that I've become a cat person. My father-in-law's like, "What the hell is going on?"
No, cat people are awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you again for filling in, Donnie. It's always a pleasure to chat, and we will see you next time, Koopalings.
Good night.
Good night.